Hey there, welcome. Have you ever memorized all the English grammar rules but still felt like your conversations were missing something? Trust me, you are not alone. Today, we're going to ditch the textbook for a bit and look at the real patterns and word choices that make English sound natural and conversational. So let's dive right in.
You know that feeling, right? You're saying a sentence, you know all the grammar is correct, but it just doesn't flow. It doesn't sound like what you hear in movies or from native speakers. That's the gap we're talking about, the difference between knowing the language and really feeling it. And that is exactly the bridge we're going to cross together today.
Because that's the real goal, isn't it? It's not just about being understood. It's about speaking with confidence, feeling like you can truly express yourself. So let's make that happen.
Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we'll unlock collocations. These are like the secret cheat codes for fluency. Then, we're going to sort out those 4 tricky verbs: tell, say, speak, and talk. After that, we'll master the art of asking questions the right way. And finally, we'll add some great words to your vocabulary for describing people.
All right, first up, collocations. Now that's just a fancy word for words that are best friends. They just naturally hang out together and sound right. Getting these down is honestly one of the fastest ways to start sounding way more natural.
So this right here is a huge mental shift. We all learned that have means you own something, right? Like, I have a book. But so often in everyday English, have is all about an experience. Think of it this way. You don't own fun, you have fun. It's something you're in the middle of, something you're experiencing.
And you can see it right here. We never say do fun. We say let's have fun. We have a conversation, or we have a break. Using have in this way just signals that you're undergoing an experience. Honestly, getting this one little shift right will make a massive difference in how you sound.
And now, for the big one. The dynamic duo that confuses pretty much everyone at some point. Make or do. They seem so similar, but nope. They have totally different jobs. Let's break it down.
Okay, here is the absolute simplest way to think about this. Make is about creating something new. You're producing something that wasn't there before, like a cake, a plan, or even a mistake. Do, on the other hand, is about performing an action or a task that already exists. Think about it. You do homework, you do exercise. If you just remember create versus perform, you'll get this right almost every time.
All right, let's jump into our next section. We've got 4 super common verbs for communication. But you can't just swap them around. You got to pick the right tool for the job if you want to be clear and sound natural. Think of this table as your go-to guide. The absolute biggest rule to remember is with tell. You always have to tell someone. It needs a listener. Say is all about the actual words that came out of your mouth. Speak is a bit more formal, for languages or giving a speech. And talk is just your casual, everyday back and forth conversation.
And this slide right here shows one of the most common mistakes out there. You can't say me. It just doesn't work. Remember, tell is the verb that needs that person. So the right way is she told me. Now, if you really want to use say, you have to add that little word to. She said a secret to me. Nailing this one rule is a huge leap forward.
All right, on to section 3. So if collocations are the building blocks, then asking questions, well, those are the tools you use to actually build a conversation. But here's the thing. One tiny mistake in how you ask a question can completely change the meaning.
This is a classic example. What is she like is asking about her personality. What kind of person is she? But what does she like is asking about her hobbies and interests. And look at the answers. They are totally different. One is about who she is, and the other is about what she enjoys. It's a subtle but super important difference. So getting the words right is one thing, but what about the order they go in? This gets especially tricky when a question is sort of hidden inside another sentence. The rules change just a little bit, and it trips a lot of people up.
Let's walk through this step by step. First, we have a simple statement. You are from Spain. No problem. Now, for a direct question, we flip the subject and verb. Where are you from? Easy enough. But look at step 3. When that question becomes part of a bigger sentence, like I know, the word order flips back to normal. I know where you are from. The inversion just disappears. And for our final section, let's put the finishing touches on things. I mean, once you know how to ask about someone's personality, you're going to need the words to actually describe them, right? Having a few great words here can make your conversation so much richer.
Let's kick things off with a fantastic word, reliable. This is so much more than just saying someone is good. A reliable person is someone you can count on, someone who is consistent and trustworthy. When we call someone reliable, we're usually talking about their actions. For instance,
They always do what they say they're going to do. It's really one of the best compliments you can give someone, because it's all about their character. It means this is a person you can depend on, period.
next up, we have cheerful. This is for that person who just seems naturally happy and positive. You know, the kind of person who just brings a good vibe into the room. You can see it in how they act and how they see the world.
Just like the example says, they're often smiling, they're optimistic. It's not just about feeling happy on the inside, it's about showing it. Using a word like cheerful paints such a clearer picture than just saying someone is happy. And finally, generous. This is such a wonderful quality. And it's so important to remember this isn't just about money. A generous person is someone who freely gives their time, their energy, their help without expecting anything back.
So as we start to wrap this up, I want you to remember the most important thing from all of this. Please don't get so obsessed with the rules that you're scared to even speak. The whole point of this is to connect with other people. It's about communication, not perfection.
And I really want to leave you with this thought. Every single person, and I mean every person, learning a new language makes mistakes. It's not just okay to make them, it's a completely necessary part of learning. So embrace them, learn from them, and just keep talking.
You know, the only way to make these patterns feel natural is to actually use them. So what's it going to be? Are you going to try using have to talk about an experience? Or maybe you'll try to ask someone, what is your city like? Just pick one and try to use it today. Thanks so much for joining me.